All right, guys, Clint Casper here. Going to give you guys a complete full rundown of what I'm running for glass this year. Maven Optics, super excited to be partnered up with these guys. Cannot say enough about the company, the people behind it, and the products honestly speak for themselves. We're going to dive into all of them today. We're going to cover all 4 products, how I'm using them, why, specifics, really get nitty gritty on kind of the ins and outs of each optic. Yeah, and excited to bring that to you guys. I know everybody's always got questions on optics, size, weight, waterproof, what's the warranties, etc. We're going to try to cover all that to answer all your questions. Of course, thank you for subscribing. If you watched this and you liked it, let me know. If you've got questions, let me know. Maybe you hate it and think I should never go on YouTube again. Honestly, let me know that as well, I guess. I take any criticism I can get, good, bad, ugly, beautiful, whatever, and I use it. So, with that being said, let's dive right into this. So, we're going to cover these 4. This is exactly what I'm going to run this year on all my bow hunts. Starting out with, we're going to cover the rangefinder, the RF.1 7x25. Man, so many features packed in that thing. Excited to bring that to you guys. Next is going to be binos, 10x50. These are the B.6s. Absolutely love these. This is like the perfect Midwest whitetail turkey, and then throw it on a tripod out west for scanning. This thing's going to be absolute money. Then we're going to get into the big boys, the big glass. We got the spotter. So we got the .1 A 25x50x80. We're going to cover that. Applications for it, weight, why I would bring that over the big eyes as far as the binos, and vice versa. Rounding out, we got the 18x56, the B.5s. I'm going to talk about why I really like these and why on certain hunts I will take these over these. We will cover that. With that being said, let's dive right into this. Here we go. Rangefinder up first. Okay, guys, right out of the gate, first thing in the lineup we're going to cover, rangefinder. RF.1 Maven Optics. I have been so excited to get my hands on this thing. First looks, first feel, whatever you want to call it, right out of the package. So you've got the ArmorTech grip on there, which it's rubbery. It feels good. It feels good in your hand. You've got plastic and rubberized coating that's actually holding the rangefinder together. Really like that. Very smooth, sleek, super easy to go in and out of your rangefinder. Bino harness attachment. This is my Kafaru attachment. Right in, right out. Super simple. One-handed when it's hooked up. Boom, boom. Very important. So let's cover the guts of this thing. Everybody wants to know weight, size, etc. Weight, 10 ounces. Size, 4.7 by 3.1 by 1.8 inches. Now, I've heard people knock this rangefinder that it's heavy, it's big. I'm going to tell you right now, this thing inside the hand feels great. It is a little bit bigger and it does weigh a little more than some of the other ones, but it does not feel that way. I really, truly love the feel of this thing, and I really like what they've done as far as how they've molded this bottom to fit really nice inside your hand. So, lifetime warranty, waterproof, super important for me. I am ultra tough on gear. I'll be the first to say that. In plain words, I beat the hell out of stuff, not on purpose, but just when I'm bow hunting, I am not worried about pieces of gear and babying things. If I have to baby something, it's not going to come with me. You are not going to have to baby this rangefinder. Lifetime warranty, waterproof. Let's cover ranges. 5 to 4,500 yards. I have hit deer and turkeys with this thing over 3,000 yards. One click, boom, got it. So you've got different modes on here, as you can probably see. You've got field mode and you've got forest mode. Now, you can switch between the two, and basically that is an obstruction filter functionality mode that they have on both. So, the field mode, small targets that are hard to hit. Let's just say mule deer, above timberline, Colorado, way out there. I want to see and click how far it is. Okay, here I am. I'm going to be very precise with how far that buck is, and then maybe I'm going to click some rocks and some trees, and I'm trying to make my line of travel for a stalk, right? Let's flip this over, and I'm hunting elk now in Montana in the dark timber. I'd want to put this on forest mode flip it down to forest mode because now I'm in dark timber. You might have a bull elk at 100. I'm ranging. I don't want to range a stick in front of me at 7 yards when I'm trying to hit this elk that's out there at 100 and keep up with its line of travel and what it's doing. So what's really cool about those two modes is you got one for wide open spaces. Basically, you got the other one for if you're in the timber. Whitetails, turkeys, Midwest guys, that's your ticket right there. You've got line of sight, angle compensation on this thing. Been testing the angle compensation in equivalence to what it reads versus my bow and sight tape. That has been spot on so far. Really, really impressed with that. Very important because of all the angles I shoot, especially out west, all the bow hunting I do, a lot of uphill, downhill stuff. This thing has you covered. Now, it's a 7x25 power, which is really nice. You can adjust right here for your eye, get it to fit your eye perfect. You've got some power in this thing. I can look at 100 yards and judge a whitetail buck or judge a big bull elk. This thing's got enough power in that 725 combo to where you can actually use it as a small binocular while you're actually ranging stuff. You can actually see what you're ranging. It's also got 5 reticle options and brightness levels, which on this knob right here, you can adjust your brightness levels. So if it's really sunny, I want to turn that brightness down on the reticle. So whenever I range something, it's not blasting me with red. But flip side, let's say a big whitetail's coming in right at dark in the Midwest, I'm going to turn that thing up to where when I click one time, I can absolutely see right away how far he is, put this thing back, grab my bow, I'm ready to rock and roll. So this thing packed with features, more features than you probably will need, but that's always a good thing. For me being a bow hunter, this thing checks every box. Super tough, super durable, lifetime warranted, waterproof, angle compensation. You got 2 modes there. I mean, the thing just super easy to run. Right there's your mode, your on, off, enter. Up here's your button to actually adjust and hit ranges. I mean, the thing just checks every box for me. I absolutely love this thing. I'm super pumped to be using this on all my hunts this year. In my opinion, this is the most well-built rangefinder that I've ever had my hands on. I've had some that are very good at certain things and then they just weren't durable or weren't waterproof, or maybe they were built like a tank but the angle compensation was off, or it was hard to get readings. This thing checks every box. Literally could not be more pleased and excited to be running this year. Give this thing a look. I don't think you guys will be disappointed. Okay, so next up in the line, second thing we're going to talk about, this right here, 10x50 binos. These are the Maven B.6s. I'm going to use these every day. So out of the whole lineup, if someone says, what's the one thing you got to have? It's going to be these right here. These are the Maven 10x50 B.6s. They go for $1,050. Now, I want to say this, direct to consumer. Everything from Maven, I know I've already said this, but I want to repeat that. Direct to consumer. So, lifetime warranty, 6.6 inches. These are the 10x50s. They also come in a 12x50. Now, the weight on these, 30.7 ounces. So, size, weight, very comparable to all the other 10x42, 10x50. Great rubberized coating. Love the feel of them. I like that the knob right here is really small. So, when you're going in and out of a bino harness, okay, these will slip right in, pull right out. Slip right in, pull right out. Other companies have a bridge, or what I call a bridge right here. What I don't like about the companies that have the bridges is that will get stuck going in and going out. This does not have that. Really like that. Waterproof, fog proof. These things are built to take a beating. I've said this before, I'm going to say it again. I am super tough on gear. I am really hard on my equipment. I'm not out there to baby stuff. I'm out there to hunt. So you've got multi-coated lenses on these. They have phase correction coating, which basically means you're going to get more accurate colors as light's transmitted through and comes back to you. So light transmission, 94.75, damn near 95% light transmission. FOV at 1,000, you got 341 feet. So basically, these things, even at 1,000 yards, are really freaking good. And there's not a lot of times that you're going to be nitpicking something at 1,000 yards, but if you need to, bull elk, buck, whatever, sometimes I just need to see real quick, hey, do I want to go after this animal or not? Is it even worth me getting my spotter out and getting a better look, etc.? With these, you're able to do that. Now, tripod adaptable, you can adapt You can pull off this, put the adapter in, set them right on your tripod. I will run these on a tripod out west. I will do a lot of scanning and panning with these, and then I will go to my spotter or the big eyes when I really need to zoom in. But I really, really like to run these on the tripod out there because I can run both eyes open. I've always got them on my chest. I've always got them in my bino harness. These things are super handy. So if you're a Midwest turkey whitetail guy like me, I'm here in Ohio, but I hunt out west a lot, and you want a binocular that's going to kind of do it all. This is your bino. In the whitetail world, everything I'm looking at is within 200 yards or less. Same with turkeys for the most part. Rarely do I need to look more than that. With that 10 by 50 objective, you've got enough field of view and enough magnification to go deep to be able to cover any of your whitetail and turkey needs. And then, like I said, you go out west, you got plenty of power, put it on a tripod, be super steady, and glass for hours until you find something you want to zoom in on, and then put your 18s or your spotter on. Really, really like that. Best thing about these, in my opinion, weight, size obviously is awesome, feels great, they look great. You can customize any of these colors, you can customize the rings, you can get crazy with these. They got a million options. You can really get wild with how you put this binocular together for your specific needs. My biggest thing about these is the way they're put together, the lifetime warranty, and just the glass itself. Low light, early morning glassing, late in the evening. These things are absolute money, worth their weight in gold. For $1,050, you are getting a top-end optic when it comes to glass and just overall functionality. These things, honestly, are tough to beat. And for, like I said, $1,050, it's honestly a no-brainer. You want to invest in good glass. You know, especially like out west, you can't kill what you can't see. You got to be able to find game. Here in the Midwest, you know, a lot of times it's not really about finding game. You're going to see turkeys, see deer, but it's about judging, figuring out what's what. You're in brush, you're scanning. You need a good pair of binos. Years ago, I invested in better optics and better tripod glassing setups and et cetera, and it made the world a difference. And I'm here to tell you, these Maven 10 by 50s will not disappoint you. Check them out. All right, so next in the lineup, really, really excited about these. I just started using what I call the big eyes. Always been a spotter guy with, you know, running a spotting scope off the tripod. Still do that. But what I found is that if I can run both eyes open, it allows me to glass longer, and I think it allows me to glass better. So Maven B.5s, retail, $1,600. These suckers right here are packed with features. So they come in a couple different sizes. This is the biggest, 18 by 56. So your FOV at 1,000, 194 feet. At 1,000 yards, it's looking like you're right up on something, which is absolutely fantastic. Light transmission, 92.7, damn near 93%. Really, really good. So they're 8.2 inches. They weigh 45 ounces. Now, when it comes to FOV and light transmission, that's comparable to the spotter, but this thing is almost 20 ounces less. It's also a lot smaller. We're going to get into the spotter later and where I would use that, but here's just a quick look. You've got, basically, you're saving a lot of pack room, a lot of pack space, and this is lighter. So, waterproof, fog-proof, same rubberized coating. Really, really love that. You've got the field flattening optical system in there, which is part of the lens, the way that they coat everything. That's basically allowing you to look out at a further distance, and with light, haze, all those things coming into play, it's going to cancel a lot of that out. Now, it's also got the phase correction coating, which is going to help for color and light transmission coming back in. You're getting the most natural, bright colors. You're not wanting to buy this to look at something at 300 yards. You can run the 10 by 50s for that. This is to look way out there on a tripod, hook this sucker up, and really zone in on something. Now, show you here as far as glass goes, what you've got. Very sleek design. Honestly, a guy could hold these in his hand. They're light enough to where you could freehand these, but for me personally, these are going to be in my pack. When I pull these out, these are going on a tripod, and I'm going to be doing a lot of panning, a lot of scanning. I'm going to spend a lot of time behind the glass looking at something or picking apart a hillside, picking apart a drainage when I pull these out. Now, I want to also cover that these have the Abiconig prism in them and the same fluorite glass that's in the S-Series spotters. They also have the edge-to-edge clarity. So basically, you are getting the same features in this as you would the spotter, but in the binocular. Now, why do I have both? So, like I covered a little bit ago, for me, as I've gotten older, I have found that personally, the spotter is great for me to pick apart something for 10, 15 minutes, really zone in, really hone in, shadows, etc. But when I have to do a lot of panning and scanning with just one eye, it does seem like for me, I've got more strain, a little more stress. With these and with both eyes open, twist the eye caps up, put it on a tripod, and you're running this thing. By doing that, it does seem like for me, it makes a huge difference. I am able to glass longer. I'm able to glass more effectively. These are lighter. On elk hunts, I used to never take a spotter. I'd have my 10x50s or my 12s or whatever in my chest, and that was it. Rangefinder, that was it. I did not want to pack a 62 or 65 or even some of these spotters are pushing 90 ounces. I did not want to pack that and go somewhere. For elk, I'm very mobile. I'm always on the move. So that was something I would leave at home. With these, because they are literally almost half the weight of this spotter and almost a third of the weight of some other spotters, I can pack these in one of my lightweight tricer tripods and I can take off and go and I barely even know this is in my pack. So for certain hunts and certain applications, these things are awesome. They are going to get used a lot this year on elk hunts for myself. We'll probably take these on my Axis deer hunt in June down in Texas. Whenever I need to do a lot of glassing, these are probably going to be my optic of choice over the spotter. Now, when we get to the spotter, we're going to talk about where it shines. But for a lot of applications, for me, the 18x56 is plenty of power, good field of view, very good magnification, very good light transparency, low light conditions. This thing's going to check all the boxes. And for being a quote-unquote ounce saver type bow hunter that I am, especially backcountry stuff, these things are going to be awesome. Now, where these also are going to be sweet are a truck mount for whitetails, turkeys, glassing out of the truck, etc. These things are going to be awesome. You can throw your mag view on them. You can throw all in, whatever system you're running, hook your phone up, take great footage of whatever it may be that you need. So these would also double as a great thing to have in the truck when you're out glassing bean fields for whitetails, and then also pack these whenever you head to Montana to go chase bulls in the fall. Promise you, you will not be disappointed. These B.5s are honestly killer, and I'm super stoked to have these in my glassing lineup for the year. Check them out. Okay, so last but surely not least when it comes to the lineup at Maven, S.1A for angled 25x50x80 spotter. Now, they make this in a straight model. I chose angled simply because I hunt out west a lot, and it's nice to have that angle and not be bent over or bent down. The angled for me is very helpful out west. That's just preference, but this also comes in a straight. So, right out of the gate, only $19.50 direct to consumer. That sounds like a lot, but if you start looking at comparable spotting scopes, you can hit $3,000, $4,000. This thing has a lot of the same features, quality-wise, resolution-wise, that you're going to get in those for a fraction of the price. This thing performs like a $3,500 spotter. At $19.50, great value. So, lifetime warranty. Let's go over specs. 19.9 inches, 64.5 ounces. Now, when you compare this to other 80, 85, 90s out there in the spotting world, that is relatively very light. I do want to add that they have really, really nice lens covers. That's always a really nice feature to have. When you're spending a lot of money on glass, like a spotter, it's going to be thrown in my bag a lot. I don't want stuff to get ruined. I don't want my glass to get scratched. So they have very, very, very nice lens caps. I really like that. Super important for me and should be super important for a lot of you guys as well. So with that being said, show you guys the glass. You've got sunshade on there. That's really handy on those super sunny days. Obviously, you can adjust this and your eyepiece and put it whatever position you want. Also, has the built-in, we're going to cover this, but you've also got already ready built-in for most tripods. Put it right on, knob right here, and you can adjust the angle of this spotter. This is really nice. So it's on the spotter. You can adjust the angle no matter where you want it. Tighten it back down. You're ready to rock. Let's say you're inside your truck. You need a different angle than how you were on the mountain. Again, turn that knob. Adjust this over wherever you want it. Turn it back. Boom. Super, super nice for tripods, truck mounts. That's a great feature. Waterproof, fog-proof. You've got the fully multi-coated lenses. High contrast image in this sucker. You've got the face correction coating, which is going to give you the most bang for your buck on light, as far as letting light in and having natural light, natural colors. This definitely has all the features that you would want to find in a high-end spotter. Now, your FOV at 25 is 115 feet. Your FOV at 50 is 84 feet. So this spotting scope is going to allow you to zoom in very tight on whatever it is you're looking for. Now, I just talked about the 18s that I run a lot, and I talked about how, for me personally, I like having both eyes open, glassing for long periods of time. If I'm trying to save some weight, etc., that's the go-to. When I've got a hunt, like a high country mule deer hunt, love hunting velvet, love hunting mule deer, I'm picking apart shadows, I'm picking apart every nook, cranny, rock, crevice, etc. I really need to zone in on a spot for a long time and look at it, pick it apart. You can't beat the spotter, and that is where this shines, and that is where it's worth its weight in gold. At 64.5 ounces, when I go on a mule deer hunt, this thing is always going to go with me. Especially the early season hunts where bucks are bedded, I'm trying to find them bedded, or I'm just trying to find deer in general. It's not like a rut hunt where they're on the move a lot. Early season mule deer, this is my go-to. What's really, really nice about this spotting scope and how I use it is that I'm using this once I locate and find game. I'm not usually using this to do a lot of panning. So what I mean by that is I'll put my 10x50s on the tripod, glass, up, found a group of deer, switch out, quickly put this on my tripod, and now I'm going to zoom in and I'm going to focus in and I'm going to look and see, are there any good bucks in here? Maybe I'm on an elk hunt that's in New Mexico or Arizona and it's late season and I'm doing a lot of glassing, far off distance, super far distances. Here's another, I'm in oak brush, I'm glassing oak brush, I'm glassing through scrub, really needing to pick apart, looking for a tine, looking for an ear, looking for a tail flicker. Another scenario where this is going to shine. You can really zoom and dial down into a specific spot and look exactly at what is there. There is no guessing. So 10x50s on a tripod, find game. Once I find it, I want to zoom in. Is this buck big enough? Is the bull big enough? How many deer are there? A lot of times what's great about a spotter is once I locate a buck, I will then use the spotter to pick apart everything around that animal. Because as I'm putting a stock on, I got to make sure I know if there's a doe bedded up to his left. I know if there's two small bucks down below. I need to know where everything is over there. So as I'm making my stock, I don't bump one of them and blow the whole thing up. This right here allows me to pick apart not only where my animal's at, but pick apart everything around. I also use this whenever I'm trying to find routes on my stock. I'm glassing a rock chute, looking at what the footholds look like. Okay, can I get up and get down that safely? What's it look like? You know, I use this for a multitude of reasons. And most of them always come back to I need to almost be able to look at the spot as if I'm right there. And the features behind a spotter like this allow me to basically look at it as if I was right there looking at whatever it is I'm looking at. Whether that's an animal, whether that's a rock chute, whether that's a scree on a scree field. I'm trying to figure out, is it loose? Is it semi-solid to where I can go across it? Is it super loose to where there's no way I'm going to be too loud? I'm using a spotter for all that. So S.1A, 25x50x80. Check this out. Under $2,000. You really, truly, honestly cannot get a better bang for your buck in the spotting scope world than this right here. Maven Optics. Check them out.